Hi, I'm Jelena.
I'm David.
And welcome to our YouTube channel.
That's right. Is this your first time here? Please subscribe. Feel free to comment or like.
What are we doing today?
We are doing a tutorial on Urdhva Padmasana.
Oh, okay.
Urdhva means
Upward.
Padma,
Lotus.
Asana,
Pose.
upward lotus pose. This is from Ashtanga's closing sequence. So it shows up in the inversion part when you're doing the shoulder stand stuff.
Sort of shoulder stands, yeah.
Yeah. And the count here is a little bit different than the rest of the practice because this whole sequence is a bit more restorative, or the focus is a bit more restorative.
Mm-hmm. We hold these asanas longer than we hold anything else in practice, precisely for that reason, to try and calm down the heart rate, calm down our breath and our nervous system. So we're inverting ourselves to help with that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I said it first.
Wow, she jumped in. So Jelena is going to demonstrate it, and let's look at the full version first, and then we can talk about it. Yeah? Okay. So this pose, you would enter into it after doing the ear pressure pose, Karnapidasana here. So you're already on your shoulders, and your knees are down by the ears. And then from here, you'll go Nava, inhale, legs up, take lotus, wow. And then hands on your knees and hold here. And then you hold for 8 breaths. Drishti is Nasagrai, tip of the nose. After your 8 breaths, then you would go to the next one, Pindasana, and you would bring your legs down and hug them in. Okay, so let's talk about that.
I can't talk at all when I'm doing
When you're upside down? Yeah.
Yeah, well, like my mic is being pushed into my neck.
You got a bunch of options with this pose. So the first one would be how you're holding yourself up. It's fine to keep your hands on your back.
Yeah, in fact, for a while you have to for balance. It's quite. It looks easy.
Yeah.
But it might not even look easy, actually. I don't know.
I think, yeah, it depends how deep in you are.
Yeah.
Just being up on your shoulders upside down like this can be super challenging. So it's not uncommon for people to be unable to stay on their shoulders without their hands propping them up behind. So this is always an option here, just keeping your hands back there. If you can't, bring your hands to your knees. And then over time, you'll gain the ability to shift your weight back enough to come high enough on the shoulders to put the hand on the knee. Maybe one hand at a time first. That's what Jelena is doing. And then eventually you can work towards both hands. Also, you don't need to do lotus for this pose, which is good news, right? Lotus is a deep posture. So you can cross your ankles and keep the hands on the back if you need to, or work at bringing your hands onto your knees. So this is Sukhasana, ankle crossed pose, and you can still get into, it's very similar to the full expression of the pose, right, in terms of shape, but you're not in lotus. And then, I don't know if you noticed when Jelena did it the first time, when she demonstrated, but she did no hands. So it's totally fine to use your hands to get into lotus pose when you're upside down.
All right, here I go again.
So it's fine to, take your time getting into it. In fact, it's important to take your time and be careful at first. And use your hands to try to get that second foot in. And then, coming into the full expression. But eventually you can do what Jelena did here. You can try to relax the legs, slide the foot down, externally rotate, and then bring that left foot down into position. So, and then eventually you can do it fast. Kind of makes that satisfying clapping sound.
It's like everything else. Once you can do what seems most advanced is actually the easiest.
Right.
Because to do that really quick one, I just let gravity do its work.
Yeah.
And I just relax the legs, and because my hips are open enough, I can do it. But at first...
That's what we always say. Once we can do it, we say then you just relax your hips. You just let gravity. But when you're working at it, there's no just.
Yeah, but I think it's important to emphasize that the hardest version of anything is that in between, like when you're learning it, when you're struggling to do it. Once you see the flawless...
Oh, we have a visitor.
Oh, hello, Connie.
He just
Not
walked
interested. Once you can do like that, whatever, perfect, then it's ease.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to struggle first.
Yeah, or maybe it comes easy.
Maybe.
Once you're in the posture, then we do this, it's kind of an interesting work where you resist your hands into your knees and your knees into your hands. And it straightens your back.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be in a round back position. Then that would be this part of your body on the floor, and your neck would probably be on the floor. You're trying to get or stay as high on the shoulders as you can. So you use the tension of the hands against the knees and the knees coming back up into the hands to create that flat back. And then ideally, what ends up happening is the legs will come parallel to the floor. So you can see how her thighs are horizontal, and that's a nice balanced position. And of course, just where your knees are relative to your head will depend on the length of your arms and stuff too. So this is it's possible, right? But that's a really active position. Watch what happens if Jelena releases and relaxes into it. The background, she kind of collapses back, rolls onto the spine more. So we're trying to get this lifted version. And once you're in the pose, do the same work that you would do in the shoulder stand position, where you're going to press your head down into the floor so that the neck is coming away from the floor. Don't let your weight rest on your spine. Lift your chin a little bit away from the chest and drive your shoulders down into the floor.
Oh, and sometimes if there's really things happening in the neck and you can't do anything where you're having weight on your shoulders, then this is another option here on the floor. And so I'm kind of trying to find that same work that David just described. So I'm not just kind of passive here. I'm actually keeping my arms straight and they're engaged. And then my knees are pressing back into my arms. So my core gets really engaged and I feel the lengthening, especially in my lower back.
Can you go back down for a sec, just like this? I have something important.
Okay.
So on this life form mat right now, Jelena's got a beautiful halo. Maybe we could just put a picture of it here. See?
How magical I am.
How magical,
Yeah.
Yes. And
you
the life form.
remember that.
She's a saint. All right.
All right.
So that is
Urdhva Padmasana. For a moment, I blanked out.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Let us know what you want to see. We're happy to take suggestions.
Yeah. We hope this was helpful.
Yeah. Bye.